Hey guys, what's up? I'm D Tacos. This is the Daily Taco. In this special episode, I interview my good friend Maria Tampakis. She's a chef, like a proper fucking chef, like a no holds bar motherfucking chef. She's worked for Gordon Ramsey, John George. She works now for a big restaurant group called Estiatorio Milos. It's a Greek restaurant. Beautiful. Yum yum food. Yum yum fun time. She's just an amazing person. She's perfect to talk to. She shoots the shit. She shoots straight, and she's awesome. So enjoy Maria Tampakis. Oh shit! Do me a favor, would you? Like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. If you're listening on the podcast, rate and review it. Rate and review, like, do a good review. If you're watching on YouTube, like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can check out Adults Only. That's our umbrella media company. We have a sports show called Fat Guy Sports Time. I'm on it with a couple of my friends. It's a fun, fantastic time. So check it out. This show is called The Daily Taco. I love tacos, and I love you. Here's Maria Tampakis. I was thinking of doing like an intro like before we put this on, so like I don't have to be like, hey, welcome to the show. This is Maria Tampakis. She's like a chef and stuff.
Yeah.
And my friend for all of our lives, probably.
Yeah, literally. All of our lives.
Because it's not like I didn't go to the same school. We didn't go to the same school.
But I think we started to
We went to the same church because we love Jesus Christ.
We went to the same church, but, it's all in the family, right? You've got, your aunts and everybody, and we're always at family stuff.
Look how prepared I am. I have a whole page of shit.
I see you. I dig it.
I looked at your LinkedIn page, too.
Oh, I know. I saw you creeping.
I did. More than once, too. Because I looked at it, and then I didn't write anything down.
It's all right.
So now I wrote stuff down.
So I paid for, the premium, and now I lasted, 3 months until I gave it.
How much is the premium?
I don't know. It's
I don't have a premium.
$14.99 or something like that. But every time someone clicks your page, it flashes on my phone.
Oh, all right.
And so I've had, some...
Weirdos? Tell me.
My ex-boyfriend's wife,
Jesus
every
Christ.
3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, but
creeps on my LinkedIn, and I don't know if it's her
or
it's him. And it's been 8 years now.
Jesus Christ. That's excessive, I feel like.
But that's,
But LinkedIn, I don't have the premium, and you could see who sees your shit. And shouldn't you know that? So if you're going creeping, don't go to the one that traces you and notifies the person.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention, but I wanted it when I started this job, and when I was looking, I did it when I was looking for work actually, last year.
I feel like that's how.
And I was like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
But what is LinkedIn anyway? I mean, it's just another.
Bro, it's bullshit.
Facebook,
everyone's a
fucking
everyone's like a managing director or legit. You're lying, bro. You're lying, and you're using corporate buzzwords to make it sound good. You're a logistics specialist. You just found out what logistics means. You know what I'm saying?
Janitor. Wait. What's the bad? I can't remember. But if a girlfriend of mine was saying, she was just her cousin's a janitor, and she said he's studying
custodial engineering.
Custodial engineering. That
Fuck
was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, custodial engineering, and what exactly does he do? She's like, he cleans the school. I'm like, that's great. Good that he's got a job, but I love that we call it custodial engineering.
Public school custodians. They're called custodians, but they don't do shit.
Yeah, but they make a killing.
Dude, they make so much money.
No, I know.
And they don't walk around with a mop and a bucket.
Yeah, but they
have other people that deal with it. If the
wanna
benefits were right, I would do it.
At a high school? Could you
Wait,
think about
jizz on the walls?
Yeah, or
and
piss all over the toilets and
Fort Hamilton,
cigarettes and kids smoking weed and come on.
Fort Hamilton was fucking disgusting. The bathroom, the students' bathrooms, gross.
How many times I walked in on girls doing coke off the toilet at Kearney?
Just in high school doing coke?
Yeah, off the toilet. And I was like, what the? What do you need
I feel
that
like
for?
high school's wild,
we got
dude.
Jägermeister. What do we need cocaine for?
During school, just blowing lines.
Yeah, and cutting out of there and going,
Jesus Christ. Well, that's what I used to do for Fort. I didn't do coke, but Fort Hamilton, I used to be able to go into the teacher's bathroom.
See, Kearney was, it was sort of all about who you know. You got lucky if you knew.
Yeah, well, that's how it was for me, too. I was real close friends with, the girl I was really close friends with, shout out Christina, her mom was the dean in Fort Hamilton. So, before every year, every start of a semester, she'd be like, do you want the same classes as the girls? Christina and Christina Smoothianas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to mooch off them. So we did have a hookup like that.
Yeah.
Which was good. Carney's probably like pay as you go. It's probably like.
Carney, but you want to know what though? Yo, I wouldn't take back 1 minute of my time at Carney, man. Like the girls that I became close to, like I think about the shit that we did in high school, and you're like, oh man. Like,
you still cool with them?
Yeah, I'm still with them all the time. I still hang out with them, like, and what's cool about it is that people are now all over the world, right? So you connect with these.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You connect with people that are traveling and like are doing cool shit, and you follow them. And even though you don't talk to them anymore, like you're like. Wow.
I mean, yeah, you're not gonna. I remember we used to hang with so many fucking people. Like we're not as close anymore, but when you see them, you know, you have a laugh.
Yeah, you shoot
and
a
that's
message.
it.
Like I can't tell you how many random times, like my dad walked into a DOC meeting or whatever for like Red Hook, Brooklyn. For the city, because there's rezoning for like the city, and my dad runs the commission or community board or who knows whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And the chick that walks in looks at him and goes, "You got a daughter, Maria Tampakis?"
No shit.
And I swear to God, every time my father hears that,
I fucking hate it. He's waiting.
He adds like 10 years to his life because he's like, "What?" Like it's never like, "Do you know Panayota?" It's never like, "Is just Sophia Tampakis your daughter?" It's always Maria.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, "I went to school with her." And she's like, "Oh, really?" Like, "Yeah, I loved her. Like, she was so nice." And so my dad was like,
"Thank you
for not fucking this one up."
Yeah.
I was like, "You're welcome, Dad.
So
I just shot her a message." Yeah.
So what else?
Not much, man. I mean, it's been an interesting run of a year.
Well, 2020's been a shit show.
2020's been a shit show, but like, I got lucky. I got to cruise for the beginning. I mean, I started my job in March. Right?
You're working at Milos. What's it called?
Estiatorio Milos as a culinary director. So like overseeing the food and the menus and the menu planning of all the restaurants, the staffing and all of that.
That's a nice title.
It's a nice title, but it's a title that you got to earn it.
No, I know.
It's
you've been grinding forever.
Man
sure.
That owns the company.
That's pretty wild because I'm sure it's pretty corporate. It's a big restaurant group, right?
It is and it isn't. It's a big restaurant group. We got restaurants all over the world, but it's owned by a 75-year-old man.
Wow.
Man. So you think about.
So you get a little bit of both. I'm assuming.
You get a little bit of both, but you get a lot of clapback from him because he wants things his way and he's super particular. But you know what? It's an incredibly affluent luxury brand, and when you're raised in that sort of circle, you know what to expect. So it's
I mean, you came up. I mean, you worked with Gordon Ramsay.
I worked with Gordon Ramsay. I worked with Jean George. I worked for Heston Blumenthal. Like I've worked for great.
And they're all monsters.
They're all monsters. They're all 3 Michelin-starred chefs.
I'm just joking,
like they're all like but they are.
But they demand a lot.
But they demand a lot. Like it's true. Like you think about Gordon Ramsay and you're like, oh my God, he's such a savage. He's not. He's really not. And when you speak to him and you're with him every day and you're working for him, all he wants is like that level of execution.
I feel like if he sees somebody who works as hard as he does. Who you can tell. You can kind of pick those people out of a crowd. Once you find somebody who's like that, like a kindred spirit kind of thing.
Yeah,
he's not going to be as much of a maniac towards. Like you guys are on the same team,
and you need to respect like who you work for.
Totally.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right. It's not your name on that front door, and that's something that I've learned like through the years.
Yeah.
It's not my name on that door. I work for someone else.
Right.
And now with this role, I've come to like accept it even more so, but that's sort of how I want to move my path and my trajectory. Like I don't need restaurant Maria Tampakis. Like
I was gonna ask you, I'm like, you don't ever like I guess fantasize or whatever about like, opening up like a 10, 15 seat restaurant.
In Florida.
Wherever
Andrews
it is.
And I want to do it in Florida.
And just doing whatever you want, like your creative it's a tasting menu, it's whatever the fuck you feel like that day.
We talk about it all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Like just being more creative. I guess you need
You know what? It's this is a hard city, right? It's a hard city. It's demanding. There's hundreds, thousands of restaurants in New York City alone. You really have to have not only an incredible product, but cups are so much more advanced than they were 15 years ago. They want to know where their beef comes from and if it's been grass-fed or corn-fed or grain-fed.
Yeah.
And when it's not, they think that they know everything and they're going to give you some shitty-ass review on,
or whatever.
on whatever platform because they didn't like the silverware.
Yeah, and they feel like their opinion should be heard.
And so we said, when we moved to Florida one day, we have our
That's
dream
the goal?
That's the goal. Buy a boat, be in
That's
Florida,
pretty nice.
open up some small thing on a beach somewhere.
Like you go fishing and the shit you catch, you're cooking that night.
And you got 10 things on the menu. That menu changes all the time. And that would be like a fun
And
project.
it is what it is. Like,
But you know,
just
we're not
dinner.
there. We're not there yet.
Sure.
We're not there yet, right? We're young, right? We
Yeah.
have time to work. My husband's 4 years younger than me.
Oh,
Like,
really?
So, you know, we got
Right.
family here. Like, I'm so lucky to be surrounded by so many people.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna move down there and be alone and
Right.
raise
It's rough.
kids
It's
by
a,
ourselves. It's down the line. Down the line. That's the
yeah,
plan.
because that's what I figured. I'm like, yo, you're a chef. Like, what made you become a chef?
You know what? I love to cook. I grew up in a Big Creek family, just like you. My grandmother was always cooking. My mom's a chef. I wanted to be an architect.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to be an architect. I loved the idea of forensics.
Yeah.
A couple different things. And I remember in high school, my mom being like, yes, like pushing it. And my father was like, absolutely not. Like,
Architecture?
Don't be a chef. Go
Oh,
into architecture. Go into something else. Like, I've been down this road before, you know, go into another direction. My mom was a pastry chef at Windows on the World in the World Trade Center.
She grinded like crazy.
In the 80s and worked like an animal. And then when she was pregnant, my dad was like, say
Stop.
goodbye to restaurants.
Right,
You're finished.
I understand that. It's a grind. It's crazy.
It's a grind, but you know what? It was an easy route for me because I was good at it and I was lazy. And that's the biggest thing that I
You were
like.
lazy?
I was lazy.
Or you just
in
like doing it?
I liked doing it
So
and I
that's-
was good at it. And I knew that I can crush
That's
it. And
everything.
so like
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, I love this, but I'm gonna work my ass off and that's gonna be the end of it. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
this is what I know.
It
Like
fit.
I worked in restaurants here in Bay Ridge in high school. I worked in college, whatever.
Get close to that mic. Don't be scared of it.
I know, really. And I worked in Bay Ridge. I worked at Gino's on 75th Street.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
love that place. 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Did you?
20
What'd you do?
years ago. Takeout packaging.
Oh my
and I worked
God.
the desk, like at the front, like serving
I hate
pizza and shit.
restaurants.
My neighbors used to always come in and they'd be
Oh
like,
my God, you
Maria's-
live right fucking there. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's on my corner.
Yeah.
And I started a pan pizza kitchen,
I love
which
that
was on
place. I remember
74th
that
and
place.
5th on the
Yeah.
corner.
That place was awesome.
That was the
This
first
is so
time,
inside Bay Ridge.
Yo, that was the first time I walked into a walk-in and saw two people fucking on the freezer.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like that was Pan Pizza Kitchen.
Pan Pizza
they
Kitchen?
opened up my eyes, and I mean, I probably shouldn't even shit talk it because like the owners still live, like they still own
they?
that building on
Yeah,
74th Street. But like, Pan Pizza Kitchen opened up my
The
eyes. to
pizza
shit.
was delicious.
The pizza was delicious, but it was two brothers. They were young. They were
Sure,
gifted
yeah.
the project. Like
You own the building too, like
they own the building.
good.
It was daddy gave it to them.
Yeah,
set
you
them
won the
up,
life
like,
lottery,
The
bro.
one worked really hard. The one loved to party. They were in their mid-20s. Like
right.
you know, so it was like the place that you'd go like
I love
to,
that
to
place.
drink and whatever. And I mean, it was
That's so funny.
yeah.
So that's where you got your first taste of the degenerates of the restaurant business.
And I was like, all right.
Because
we
there's
can do this.
degenerates in the restaurant
There's
business.
degenerates in the restaurant business, but
Can I
like,
say something? I hate the restaurant business. It fucking
you know what?
ugh.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's tiring. It's exhausting.
Bro, and it's not worth it. We can't even fucking steal sales tax anymore like our fucking grandfathers
I
did.
know. A lot.
For the lack of I'm sure, hopefully the statute of limitations are over, but that's the reason why a ton of Greek guys are fucking loaded now.
Yeah. Of course
Is
they
because
are.
they had little coffee shops selling $1 eggs. They
And
make
they-
$5,000 a day and put $1,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
I
they're
know.
selling heroin.
No, I know. And now with everything, forget it. Like it's just, it's demanding and it's exhausting. And you come to a point where you're like,
Is it worth it?
yeah.
Owning it, because like where you're at, like culinary director for a big restaurant group like that, where like they do volume, like when things are normal.
But also, I'm not tied to a stove, and that was a
That's
big
huge
thing
too,
for me.
yeah, I'm
like
sure.
I have been now for the last few months, and I've been running Hudson Yards. So we have a restaurant
That's
in Hudson
'cause
Yards
of COVID, and you
because
guys
of
are-
COVID, and we never brought in a new chef
Yeah.
and all of that. And I got to be honest with you, it was so much fun. We were doing 250 covers a night for dinner.
So you're burnt. You're
and
working.
it was,
yeah.
and we were working, and you had to be up by 10. So I was home by 11.
So
but
it
at the,
wasn't-
but at the end of the day, it still sucks that on like a Friday night,
Yeah.
I'm in a kitchen serving,
Sweating and
sweating
fucking
my
working.
ass off till midnight, and then
Yeah.
I got to come home to a husband who's bitching and moaning because for the 5th night in a row he had to put his kid to bed,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro,
It's what it is.
It is what it
you
is.
guys
like,
opened Hudson Yards during this?
no, Hudson Yards opened when Hudson Yards opened,
Oh, early.
but like
okay.
we reopened indoor dining at the end of September.
Right.
And I was there ever since because the other location in New York is rolling, and they're
You told me like
They were.
I was like, oh my fucking God.
I mean, I can't even tell you, like, crushing it.
Yeah, don't say the number.
No,
but it's fucking wild.
Crushing it. Hundreds and hundreds of covers a day.
Oh my God.
Like, seating outside, and then when indoor dining opened indoors. But you know what? This is a brand that's been around for 30 years.
I'm surprised, but I didn't even know that it was that around for that long.
You know what I mean? New York City's 23 years this year.
Wow.
Like,
yeah. How big is this?
Montreal's
how big are
41.
They? How big? How many seats? Like normal
280 something,
So it's
290 something,
massive.
300 something. Like our 25% is like 147 and 167
Wow.
between
so
the
it's
two
still
restaurants.
Big, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Let me ask you, what do you think about like the new fucking shutdown shit?
it's
Like,
bullshit.
Yeah, I agree
it's
with you.
Fucking
and I'm
bullshit.
a fucking progressive libtard.
Yeah, so am I. And I'm pretty like, and I
Yeah.
you know what? Like, I can't say that, like, there are Republican things that I agree with. There are
Hmm.
Democratic views that I agree with, but this is fucking garbage.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I walked into the Staten Island Mall today. There were 100 people online at Bed Bath & Beyond to get those nasty fucking vanilla bean candles.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, like, every motherfucker can
Yeah.
be standing there in their pajamas and some shitty, gross face mask that's
Inside
been
of
on
a
their
mall.
face for 2 weeks inside of a mall, and
Yeah.
that's not a problem. But we can't have people.
What I
eat.
don't get is like it was 25% before. You see the contact tracing data. It says like 1.5% is from indoor dining. Like, what makes you close it? I don't understand. Like, the most of the shit that's happening is indoor gatherings at your
It's all the
houses.
home. That's the problem.
Because people are
It's
dicks.
the homes.
You know?
It's-
and I get
it's-
it. It's hard not to hang out like on Thanksgiving and big holidays, especially like if you're not going to get tested first and then going like what you guys
Yeah.
are doing, which is the smartest way to do it, if you can do it. People
Yeah, but
that-
you know what? We have to do it.
yeah, if you
Like,
want to
you have
have
to
it,
do it,
yeah,
like-
if you want to have a big thing, not even a big thing, but like 10 people, your immediate family, because we have big families, you should definitely do the testing the day before or whenever. Make sure everyone's kosher, because if, grandma comes in, like, you don't want anyone to get sick.
Forget about it. Forget about just your immediate family. Like, you see these horror stories of it passing on from like one family to the post office to the
Yeah.
postman to this person,
Yeah.
and then an entire nursing home's wiped out
Right.
because that person was with somebody else's
14
grandmother.
fucking nuns bit the
Yeah,
dust.
yeah, and now you're seeing all this shit. Like, talk about mass media about this like second strain in London that's coming
know.
out, and like
People
and
are
in South
freaking about
America.
that.
And people are freaking out about it. And it's like, you know what? Just do your fucking job. Put your
Right.
fucking mask on.
I love you.
Stay 6 feet
I love
away. Like, stay your fucking ass at home. Nobody gives a fuck that you can't go and get your nails done. Like, paint them
That's
at
the
home.
biggest thing. I've ranted about it before. Like, I get the small business people that are fucking getting it in the face. Like, you have a small restaurant and you're shut down. It's hurting you. Like, you're behind on rent. Even the landlords, your tenants can't pay rent, right? Because they can't even operate at full capacity. Those people, I completely understand their frustration. The people that you see on like Facebook and different places that are so selfish about saying, they want to go to their brunches and they want to go on their vacations and they want to do this and that. And they use like the small business thing as like cover, basically, because they feel like they need the freedom to go to have a big brunch party.
Wait a second. Did you see what happened? Okay, so I live in Staten Island, which is
Yeah.
not public knowledge because I don't like to publicly announce that I live in Staten Island.
Why not?
Because Staten Island's a fucking shithole. But where I live in
Yeah.
Staten Island is amazing. I love it. I live right over the Verrazano.
All right, so it's quick.
I can walk 2 streets and I can see my house like on the other side of the
Yeah,
water. Like, that's
yeah.
where I live, like right there.
That's nice.
It's stunning. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. But did you see what was going on last week with the owner of that Max's?
Yeah, I mean, that was...
like public house. Like, you know what I
that
mean?
guy's a dick, dude. I know
And then he
people...
ran over the sheriff.
Yeah, bro, like, imagine... I'm not totally with, like, the rioting and looting for the Black Lives Matter stuff. You shouldn't riot and loot, right? If you riot and loot, you go to jail.
Yeah.
If that was an Antifa fucking blue-haired jerk-off that ran over a cop, what would the people at Max Public House be doing? They'd be freaking the fuck out, tearing their clothes off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all fucking bull.
I
Like,
get
all
it
of
sucks. They were at 25% capacity. They got their liquor license pulled. They still got people coming in.
And then they got a $25,000
What the fuck? Like, guy, like, what are you
But
doing?
more importantly, like, you're not going to beat this system.
No.
And that's the thing that, like, people aren't getting. Like, they're like, oh, we want to secede from New York. So who are you going to call?
Staten Island?
Yeah, Staten Island. Okay, this is how smart the people in Staten Island are. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay? So who are you going to call when your house is on fire?
Well, they'll do a volunteer fire department.
Okay, and who are you going to call when somebody robs your house?
What's interesting is like a lot of firefighters and police officers live in Staten Island.
They live in Staten Island because it's half the cost of area.
Yeah, no, listen, it's like the suburbs. Yeah, I get it. Like I get the attraction to Staten Island.
I mean, I have my house that I rent is $200 more than my shitty 2-bedroom apartment on Ovington across the street.
Yeah, it's no. Yeah, I'm with you.
I
and
have
then
a
you
yard,
have parking. Yeah,
I have a driveway. I have a front lawn.
Yeah.
I have a huge yard.
Yeah,
right?
you're good.
Like,
yeah. Compared to here, it's a fucking nightmare.
No, and it's so.
But no, I mean, the shutting down is crazy. Like the first time I understood it, because we were like, it was fucked up over here for a long time, and I understand that even though it was gonna hurt a lot of people, you know, the federal government should have stepped up fast. I mean, they did step up pretty quick at the beginning, even though, you know.
No, get the fuck out of here. We didn't do it right at all.
No, we didn't do it right.
We didn't do it right at all.
I mean, listen, the federal government doesn't do anything right, usually.
I know, but it's so sad.
Besides bombing
you see
countries.
so many other countries that, like, have successfully
we stink there. We're
managed it, right? This is the third. We're living in a third world country.
Yeah, it's bad. I agree. I mean, listen, you're preaching to the choir.
Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't.
I don't know why it became so political. I don't think it needed to become political. And I think Trump
political because the president that we had made it political.
Yeah, he's bad. He's bad.
He's fucking garbage. He's garbage.
Listen, I hate Trump, and the fact is, like, he would have won again if. When this first happened,
ruined this coronavirus. How he handled it.
If he handled it a little bit better, not even like more people could have died. The number could have been higher in deaths. If he in those crazy press
pretended
conferences,
like he gave even an ounce of shit and not spent what was it like 97 days of 5 months at Mar-a-Lago golfing.
Yeah, bro.
Like suck a dick, bro. Like
he would have won. He would have won. I'm telling you. That's why he lost. Number one, he's a fucking lunatic, and the fact that he got 74 million votes, I don't know what that says about the country or like what it says.
What does it say about the country? It is exactly what it says about our country. Look at all the states that voted for him, right? They're all the Midwestern states.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly how to work those markets. And my biggest problem with Trump, and this is not going to become a political thing because whatever,
I'm not scared.
is not just unifying us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dividing
us.
us
Just
by
unify us.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to be like the Democrats did this and the Republicans and the two totally different parties. So we can't see eye to eye.
That's the problem. First off, because like even if you like hate George W. Bush, when shit happened with 9/11, like he did what he needed to do to bring people together. Even though like what they did was fucking horrible. Like going into Iraq was horrible. But this is a natural disaster. It's a once in 100-year thing. Where you have doctors telling you, like, bro, if we don't do anything, it's going to be fucked up bad.
Yeah.
If we do half measures where some states close, other states don't, some states close for 2 weeks and then open up again like it's magically gone when it's not, and there's no, like, uniformed rules that, like, he could have put pressure on Republican governors and been like, yo, we got to close for a month. We're going to take it in the dick for a month. We're going to send everybody money to keep them afloat. And then hopefully we get it down to a point where it's manageable and we can mitigate it and we can figure it out. The testing's better and everything. And then we can get back on our feet. Instead, now we've had like fucking seesawing in terms of cases and deaths.
And we're not going to reopen. Like, this country's not going to reopen until like the end of next year.
I think like summer. Because like once the vaccine's available and like we get, No,
I'm talking about like rebounding. You know what I mean?
Like
we're not going to be.
Probably.
Yeah, but like even restaurants. Right? You're
talking
about April.
If I still had my restaurant right now,
yeah, you'd be crying.
I would have burnt it to the ground.
No, yeah, but you know what? That's a different story because you could have crushed it in the takeout business.
I understand, yeah, but still, you got hurdles and nuanced hurdles to deal with there, like the online platforms and stuff like that. Like they're scumbags,
and they're so expensive. They're such rip-offs. They're such.
And now they rip off customers. They put fees for customers, bro.
I saw it.
Like what the fuck? You can't help but fucking rip people off.
Everybody's a greedy cunt.
Yeah.
Everybody's a greedy cunt, and that's the fucking problem. Is that everybody gives a fuck about themselves.
Right.
They don't care about the greater good of people and all of that, and like just having an eye open to take care of somebody else. It's all about.
Because I heard like the crazy like anti-COVID people. I'm not gonna say Republicans, but they were mostly Republicans. Sorry.
Karens.
Yeah, like they were like, oh, I don't want to give up my freedom. I'm like, yo, it's not about giving up your freedom. It's not about the government controlling you. It's about making sure less people die.
It's just doing your part to be safe.
Yeah, and it's not like we're not asking you to go fight Nazis.
Yeah, no, please.
Wear a fucking mask and don't go to brunches.
Wait, wear a mask when you're going to Target. to buy the bath bubbles that you need for this evening.
Right. It's
Like,
kind of
just-
crazy to me, like just the selfishness.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And you know who's getting, who's getting it because of this. The elderly, the
Yeah.
autoimmune compromised,
Right.
Anyway, it's just, I
It's
can't
fucked.
believe that it's going to be January in 10 days. And this is a conversation piece that we're
know.
still having.
And
Like,
you
who
know
would
it's
have
only
ever thought of that?
happening here, like in Europe and Canada and other developed countries besides Brazil, because that guy's a fucking lunatic too, Bolsonaro.
Yeah.
They play ball. Like they're I'm sure there's selfish people everywhere. It's just a human nature thing. But like those governments do a better job. They do a better job in terms of like relief for people and businesses, actual
Please.
businesses, not like
Relief is a whole other,
Yeah.
That's a
they
whole
just passed
other
a new
world.
one that's
I
like
know.
I was gonna do a rant yesterday, but I didn't do it. That's like a half measure too.
What the fuck is somebody going to do with $600?
I don't know.
What are you
I
going
don't
to do
know.
with $600?
I don't know.
The 3 people that I've spoken to, you know what all 3 people said? They're going to put it towards their new iPhone because that's how much they gave a fuck about the $600. That
Yeah,
is
it's
like,
a nominal amount.
but
it's not.
What do you like? This is that. It's not. It's like giving somebody a half a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
For a bullet wound.
Right, 100%. I
Like-
completely agree with you.
Here you go. He's a little tickle.
And the big problem is it's just that, like, I get it. We're the United States, so each state has their own way of doing things. We should have came together and did things similar. Like at least like coordinate with each other and stuff like that because, Florida's doing one thing, New York's doing another thing, Cali's doing another. Cali's shutting down and they still
First of
fucking
all,
get it.
Cali, between the governor of California,
Yeah.
the governor
They're
of Florida, DeSantis. I mean, like,
They're nightmares.
but I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? You got to get somebody who's going to just rein them all in. Is Joe Biden going to do it? I mean,
No.
that guy's 150 years
No.
Like, he's not even going to make it to Valentine's Day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Biden's the same old. He's just like corporate. He's gonna kowtow to the big corporations. I mean, if
don't know.
anyone's expecting like big change, it's not gonna happen. I mean, listen, is it better that Biden's there than orange face? Yeah,
I agree. Yes, because you know what? I also think like things, like climate change and all the things that
Right.
are important and that we see destruction.
Right.
Trump 2 days ago passed, he started allowing all these corporations to drill on these native lands in the Midwest.
He's such a nice guy.
He just allowed it
Yeah.
yesterday. Like they've been fighting for this for years and
Dude.
years and years, and he's just doing it 10 days before he's out of office. Like, oh yeah,
Dude.
you want this Navajo? Welcome. Here you go. There's only 40 fucking people left there, but
Yeah.
drill a pipeline right
the
through.
level of like Trump's always served himself, right? He's 74. His back's against the wall, right? So like now he's coming to it that he's understanding that he's lost. Because like even Newsmax, one of those crazy news things printed like said some clarification about like the voting machines that they were pushing a conspiracy about. They retracted it. He knows it's done, right? So he's at the point where he's at his worst right now. And if you can imagine like a guy like that can get worse, it's crazy. He's the most selfish. It's just you can't even describe this guy. He's a movie villain.
No, I know.
You know how you describe the Nazis and like someone describes the Nazi. I'm not comparing to a Nazi, but like when someone compares describes the Nazis, you're like that can't be real, but it really happened.
Yep.
Like no one could write that really.
Yeah.
That's Trump. Like no one could have come up with this guy who spent 10 years on TV as a fake businessman.
This is America.
So people thought he
This
was
is
like a
America.
real businessman,
But yeah.
even though he squandered almost $500 million of his dad's fortune that he inherited.
Welcome to the United States,
It's
babe.
kind of crazy.
Welcome to the United
And
States.
he has a cult. Like
and
people
we
are in love
voted
with him.
for him. This is a democracy.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah. So good luck to our kids.
Right.
Anyway.
So yeah, we got major issues here. I didn't want to go into politics, but I'm in always.
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't like to talk about it because it's just so I get so frustrated by
Yeah.
it and like stupid comments just.
Well, we live in like a real concentrated area of like upper middle class people who are rich, who think that like Republican stuff will eventually help them. Which you need to be a hedge fund manager.
The taxes.
Do you understand? You need to be making $10 million a year to be benefited by. Nobody makes $400,000 a year, even. Nobody.
Not now.
Maybe people's fathers do.
But not anymore.
Right. But I'm
You know
just
what I
saying,
mean?
like, I know one person who makes that maybe, and he doesn't even, he's like, listen, if my taxes went up where I have to give an extra $15,000, like, he's like, what's $15,000 really?
Yeah.
He's not stressing it to the point where, like, people that are, let's be honest, going to inherit their money
No,
are
I know.
freaking out about
No,
this.
I
like
know.
Biden coming in like we're going to be commies all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Biden's a fucking corporate Democrat.
No, I know.
Push comes to shove, they're going to do what corporations say. The big boys, big banks, big insurance.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about who's funding
their
campaign.
campaigns. Bingo, that's it.
It's the dollar makes the world go round, baby.
No, poor people don't have a lobbyist firm that they
No.
pay
No, I
to
know.
like fight for them, right?
No,
The Democrats technically fight for them, and sure, I'm sure they do. Like we wouldn't have safety nets now. Like real poor people would be fucked right now and be in more poverty. But the middle class, like the people that don't make $200,000 a year, upper middle class people that make $100,000 between a family, 150 between a family in New York. It sounds like a lot.
It's not. But it's not in New
You're
York
not
City
really
anymore.
saving money. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
You're not buying a house.
$150,000 in Brooklyn
Yeah.
for a family is not a lot of money.
You're not buying a house.
You're not buying a house.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talk about this regularly with my friends.
Sure.
And I'm like, I grew up in Bay Ridge, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in a brownstone just like you.
Yeah.
I know what my parents paid for my brownstone back in
Yeah.
1981, you know, $150,000 or whatever they spent. Now, I mean, you have to tack on over $1 million on top of
Yeah,
that
easily.
to be able to buy the same brownstone in the house in the neighborhood that you grew up in.
That probably needs work.
But the neighborhood's gone to shit.
Right. Yeah.
74th Street, 5th Avenue. Have you? I mean,
Yeah.
I know I'm not racist. I don't care. But like, it is not the neighborhood that like we grew up.
I mean, it's not like even like it's not that nice looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're gonna
Look at 86th Street.
Yeah, 86th Street's dumpy as fuck.
But now Centuries is gone.
Yeah.
All these stores are closed. Everything's boarded
Well,
up.
yeah, it's
like,
super sad now.
you
Like
know,
you
and
see it,
you're
it's like
like-
holy shit. What are we in downtown Detroit? Like it's
like,
fucked up.
Nailed it. No,
Well,
I know.
mean, commercial real estate's gonna, you know, they're not. That's gonna be years before they recover.
Yeah, but you want to know what? I truly believe that it's sad in restaurants, and we're going to lose 80% of the restaurants that we have. But
Yeah.
you know what? In those spaces, there will be regrowth, and there will be rebirth, and there will be new restaurants that come in and new business
Yeah.
opportunities. So it's going to take the United States. It's going to take New York some time. But for anybody that says New York is dead, like, go fuck yourself. Like,
Yeah, I
you know what
can't see
mean?
that.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear it.
Like even if people are moving out, they're not even moving out at a level where it's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
but move out. You don't want to be here anymore? Get the fuck out.
Right.
But you want to know what? I can promise you that next year,
right.
people will win. So one of my best friends, who's one of these corporate finance guys that you're talking about, love him to death, went to college with him. He called me yesterday. We've been talking every day this week because he wants to move. And he found an apartment in Hudson Yards to rent.
Yeah.
And it is $3,300 a month right now.
Because no one's living there.
$8,000.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's the pros and the cons? All right, moving's going to cost me $15,000, but now I'm going to get this $3,300 a month apartment that is $8,000. Yes, I'm paying more than the rent that I would be paying in the apartment that I'm in now, but fuck it, I'm going to lock myself in for 2 more years.
Right,
So
yeah.
everybody's dropping rents, and you're going to get all these people and these hipsters and these kids and families and that are going to move back into the city because rent's cheap.
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation in 2 years of where they're going to go when
Right.
rent starts to, stabilize. And
Also,
normalize
like
a little bit.
people were saying, like, oh yeah, people are gonna be working from home all the time. Like, granted, that's probably gonna accelerate it a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna be one way or the other. It's not gonna be binary. It's not like these corporations aren't gonna have office space and stuff, where like Manhattan's gonna empty out. Basically, I think what's gonna happen is the more progressive corporations will do like a staggered thing, even after when the vaccine's done and stuff.
1,000%.
And because you still kind of need like office morale kind of thing, you can't just have everybody working remotely. I feel like it could be up to the person, but I think
they're going to have a percentage of people coming
Right.
back to the
I think it's
office.
gonna be
like starting
staggered.
slow. Yeah, agreed. Like my sister. My sister works for a big company, a big engineering firm in the city, and they already told her like through 2021 you're going to be home. You
Yeah.
have to come in once every.
that's
2
pretty
weeks or
progressive
whatever.
because like I'll tell you right now, like some companies that we know who are like old school run, they don't give a fuck because like they're into the idea of control, I guess, like people in their offices or at their cubicles.
Yep.
Which doesn't mean like what do you think? Because a person's in their fucking cubicle for
They're
8
doing
hours a day,
work?
they're doing dick.
Yeah, no, but you know what? The more progressive ones that see the results, like my
Yeah.
sister's company, like during Corona, right? They were home from March
Yeah.
until whatever, September. And then come September, they looked at the work that was done over these 250 employees during that 6 months. And they were like, you guys did more work than you would
Sure.
do in the
I believe
office
that too.
because you're at home, right? And the problem with working from home is you sort of detach yourself from like your normal day to day, and people think that it's okay to call you at 10 o'clock at night with like a work question.
That's true.
Because and they just expect you to sort of always be working.
But I can also see people like actually just doing it, like at 9
I was
at
doing
night
work
and
at
shit.
2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah, I
like
could see
during the
that.
first quarantine.
Yeah.
All the time, like busting stuff out. And I probably worked more hours then than I did when the restaurant was reopened.
Also, like if you're working in an office, right, like administrative stuff or anything really, you're just gonna as your work comes, you do it, right? You're not gonna like. That's the thing. It's so antiquated, like the 40 hours, 8 hours a day kind of bullshit. Like people aren't. If people work half that time, I'd be shocked. 4 out of the 8 hours, where they're actually grinding out, fucking whatever they're doing.
No, I know. Forget
Half the time is them fucking looking like they're working. Let's be honest. I've done it.
But there's also lulls in the week, right? There's lulls in the work. Like there are times that you have more work to do. There's time that you have less. But at the end of the month, if it all balances itself out, like it's funny actually because I totally live by that at work. You know, there are nights where I'll be like, all right, it's 5 o'clock. We don't have a lot of covers tonight. You know, whatever. What do I need to be here for?
Sure.
I'm going to be grinding on a Saturday till 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't need to prove to anybody that I'm working hard. If I leave at 6 o'clock, I leave at 6 o'clock. My day is finished.
Right.
I don't need to stay at 10 for the sake of staying till 10.
And they're cool, like like your bosses and stuff?
Yeah, because, I mean, listen, we set it up with a good group of people. There's a good crew in the kitchens there and in the restaurants. And as long as the foundation is there, they have what they need. They know, you know, and we've been working together for a long time. They're good. I mean, on quiet nights, listen, you're talking quiet nights like 20 guests, like on a Monday.
Yeah, so it's,
like it's
people standing around.
Literally. And so that's the problem too. You're kind of like, all right, do I send these people home?
Right.
Or do I leave them on in case, you know? But so I would be like, all right, you guys are all here. See you later.
So you're back at it once like this shit's lifted and the vaccine's out.
Yeah, I'm back at it, and I'm I'm looking forward to it because I got gypped of sort of the opportunity to spend time with the owner and spend time with like the CEO in Montreal and in Canada and travel to the locations to actually work with the teams.
Go there.
I haven't gone anywhere.
Canada's like fucking. I don't want a single U.S. person in here.
March 16th, I was supposed to be in Montreal.
When did you start there?
March 2nd.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And what's crazy is that I worked the whole quarantine.
You did.
Yeah, because I mean, the director of operations, who I love, he's not with us anymore. He just does consulting, but he was like, we need somebody in culinary. Like, we need somebody to cost out menus and figure out what we're going to be redoing and how we're going to navigate these waters, because we opened every restaurant in a different city at a different time.
Wow.
So, you got to like procure goods and source things and figure out who's open and where you're going to get stuff from.
You guys opened something during this quarantine in another city? Or no, you didn't open any new locations?
Reopen.
Oh, reopen. Okay.
Yeah. But no.
But still, like, you're reopening shops. Like, you got to figure every restaurant's at a different.
We have Vegas opening in March.
Wow.
We're opening up a brand new restaurant and a brand new hotel, March, April.
I mean, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few openings coming up in the pipeline.
Well, you guys dominate. Like,
I mean, this is another level. Like this.
I was floored when you told me. I was like, what?
Yeah. There's a lot in the pipeline.
That's awesome.
Years. And that for me is what I want. I want stability.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I know that I'm not going to have my name on the door, right? And that's not what I want. I want to work for somebody else, execute his dreams, execute his goals. This is a group that's been around for a long time. It is the top of Greek cuisine, of Mediterranean, of seafood. It's the best of the best.
Yeah.
Arguably the best in the world with regards to this style of food. What do I need to go somewhere else for?
No, it does sound pretty awesome.
Prove myself, work my ass off to them.
And the business sounds sustainable, like compared to like a person that has like 2 shops. You know what I mean? Like something that's smaller.
This is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
Like they're going to be able to handle this shit. Like,
bro, there's a 185-foot yacht sitting in Athens in Piraeus. We have Milos at sea. We have 2 boats.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that they rent out, and you have like a chef come on in and you spend a week
that's
traveling
cool.
the
So
Mediterranean.
it's uber luxurious.
We're talking like
yeah.
Another level of luxury. And but they're a really great group. They're really good people. Like I'm really happy working with them, and I get it, and I get when they say stuff because I'm Greek and I was raised with grumpy Greeks and difficult Greeks and crazy Greeks and all of it. And
like the regular culinary director's not gonna fucking be like, oh, I gotta call HR because you had a little bit of a fucking screaming match.
First of all, the general manager and I mean everybody's Greek there.
All right, so they're all
So the
psychos.
general
Yeah,
manager
yeah,
and I, like, I'll look at him and I'll be like, in Greek, from the past, like, I am going to rip your fucking eyeballs out of your face
Yeah.
and throw you off the balcony
Sure.
if you don't go to 82 and tell, blah, blah, blah.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
That's a normal
Right.
in Greek back to back. But what's funny is that there's only a couple Greeks in the kitchen. Everybody
Oh, no
else is
shit.
Spanish. There's only 3
Okay,
of us.
I mean,
A lot of the servers are Greek. So there's like a group of like 15 of us in the Hudson Yards location that are just a really great group of guys.
That
And you're
sounds
like-
good. That sounds like
and
you
you're
guys
like,
got a good crew
Yeah,
and shit.
it's chill. It's chill.
Which
I
is like,
it.
I feel like that's
Important.
9 out of, it's so important.
So important. So important because people are like, I've had so many job opportunities in the last couple of weeks and like
Yeah.
some really good job opportunities. And, the other day my mom was like, what are you going to do? And I said, what am I going to do? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to leave because I'm collecting unemployment.
Well,
I'm
there's a
home with
light
my
at the end of the
kid.
tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's going to open up.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And so what? I got 4 free months of hanging out with my kid. Like,
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no responsibility.
And you know you have a gig, yeah.
I'm going to get unemployment. I have a husband that's at work every day. Like, so
Right.
what do I got to do? I
Yeah.
got to entertain my child, take her places and do stuff with her and take my
Could be
dog to
worse.
the beach. Like,
Totally.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
great.
saying anything. Like, my cooks, though, that are, some of them that aren't like legal, like, whatever.
They get fucked. What do they do with like insurance, like unemployment insurance?
Nothing. You're not a legal immigrant. You don't get
Yeah,
shit.
but you're
Come on.
fucking. They got tax IDs though.
Doesn't matter. You can't get it.
Oh,
You can't screw the system, bro. You can screw the system to get.
Yeah, but listen, if they have legit tax IDs, they're paying taxes.
Yeah, but you're not getting unemployment through your tax ID, bro. You get unemployment through your social security
That's
number.
brutal.
So you can work one system. You can't fuck with both.
Yeah, that
You know what I
sucks.
mean? Like,
That
pick the
sucks.
system. And you can't get a fake you can get a fake social security number. You buy them off the street.
Yeah.
But that fake social security number will not link to anything.
Right.
Your tax ID, like that social security number links to your tax ID number.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're doing everything through the tax ID
Yeah,
number.
and you don't want to fuck your tax ID number, especially if they're doing it legit. Like, you don't want to fuck it with
Yeah.
that, get it flagged for any reason or
Yeah,
anything
but
like
these
that.
guys, there's nothing for them. And so those are the
sucks.
guys that I bleed for.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
those are the guys that I feel bad for because, no matter what, I'm not talking about like, yes, they're illegal or, how they got here. They're stealing jobs from us.
Fuck
It's
off. These
bullshit.
people don't wanna do these jobs.
Bullshit because they're dishwashers and they're fucking scrubbing grates and
Yeah.
bullshit like that. Like, these are humans.
Even short
These are-
order.
these are
Like
human beings.
line cooks, I see a line cook as a skilled position.
1,000%.
And, some people want to do it. Some people don't want to do it.
People don't want to do it for $15 an hour now that TV shows are out and cook shows and culinary shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
they
like
love
white
making their
people.
grandmother's fucking meatballs. And
Like
they said-
hipsters.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
but like even just kids now, like the generation of people that want to cook, they don't want to go in and grind and
No,
peel
everybody wants
potatoes
to
and-
be Bobby
yeah,
Flay.
everybody just wants to be like
Or
a Bobby
Ramsey.
Flay or like Giada on TV. Like,
But even like Gordon Ramsey and Bobby, like they work. Like they have restaurants that they're
but not
probably
even
all
that,
over.
Yo, it's talking about the base and the fundamentals and the
Yeah.
roots and the grinding that went
Yeah.
in. You know what I mean? Like, I think of
Yeah,
the
it's not
hours
easy.
that I put in
Right.
London. Like,
You're just working over a stove.
oh
fucking
my God,
grinding.
just morning through night. Like, our day in London started at 6:30 in the morning.
Crazy.
We finished at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's
6 days a
wild.
week.
Oh my
6
God.
days a week. And you fucking worked it, and that was it. And like, you want to succeed, right? But you want to know what? 8 years later, it opened up the doors that it opened.
Right. Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. And
So-
you're not going to be, doing that.
I don't
if you
want to grind
to
when
be
I'm
doing
40.
that. Yeah.
I wanted to grind when I'm 20.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But the problem is now is that like everybody wants a short, quick, answer. Like they're not willing to put in the hours.
So Gordon Ramsay was a monster.
So Gordon Ramsay was a monster, but he was great. And I was lucky. I traveled with him. I did Kitchen Nightmares
That's
with
cool.
him.
Oh yeah, you did the thing when you were in ICE.
Yeah,
Not the ICE where you
that was
get the
another
immigrants.
one, yeah. But I traveled all through Europe with him.
What's
and we
ICE?
did
What does it mean?
the F word, the Institute of Culinary Education. When
Yeah.
I was over there, and he surprised me as a student. in
Yeah,
my
that was
class.
funny. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good.
And you travel with him with Kitchen Nightmares
I
too?
traveled in with Kitchen Nightmares. We went to France. We were in Spain.
How do we get him on this podcast?
Ugh,
Via Zoom. I'm not saying here. He's going to come to his basement.
I imagine.
I mean, I
we'd
would
have
show
to
what
do-
kind of a gentleman he'd be.
We'd have
But
to do some serious paint jobs out there if we're gonna have.
if I got this guy, if Gordon Ramsay's coming to my house, bro, don't worry. I'll paint the fucking place.
Vicky's gonna be busting out the
Yeah,
metal
I'll
macaro now for
paint
the
the
entry.
fucking place. Don't sweat it, man. We'll fucking cater the shit too if you want. No, I'm
We'll
saying
get Peter
Zoom.
to bring
for-
some pasto back
Yeah.
when he comes back from the Horio in
That's
Greece
so
next
funny.
door.
He's still like can talk. I mean, he's busy as
Nah.
fuck, right? Yeah.
I mean, like, here and there.
Yeah,
social media,
yeah,
you
yeah.
stay in touch and shit like that with people from the company and
Well, I'm sure
family
he's probably
members and kids.
nonstop. He's probably got a fucking schedule.
And they've opened up so many more restaurants, and at the end of the day, he makes his money off his TV shows. So like everything is.
He's a huge fucking star. He does work. I mean, he did that Hot One show, and that was like one of the most watched one that they've ever done.
The one with
with the high.
Yeah.
Like he's a bona fide star.
Yeah.
Which is wild too, because he runs his mouth on people, and like you got to assume like. If that was happening right now, like he just came out of nowhere and he's fucking telling people they're fucking retards or whatever. He's not retards, but he says,
"Oh no, like idiot sandwich and all that shit."
You don't think he gets
you
shit and
what?
like they try and cancel him or some shit?
Nah, because he's created that image for himself
Yeah.
for so many years that people like.
No, yeah, he's grandfathered in basically.
People like wanna get like to some extent like people want that shit talking from him.
Yeah.
Like they feed off of it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? They're like, I have my 30 seconds of fame because
Right.
Gordon went on like whatthefockareyoueating.com and he just blasted your toast.
Does he snap out like that, like in normal?
Oh yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is wild.
I
That's
remember-
intense.
I remember. Yeah. Oh yeah. But again, it's all about who you work for and it's the name, right? Like he used to come to my restaurant and we always knew when he was coming, but we didn't know like the minute.
What was it called? Head Street
Street Kitchen. And I'll never forget. I had a cook outside smoking a cigarette in front of the restaurant, and I remember saying to the guy, which I said to them always, was like, "There's 2 rules here.
Yeah.
Like, I tell you when you leave.
That
right?
that annoyed me
And-
too, and I
and
owned like a little restaurant.
You don't
Yeah.
smoke in front of the restaurant,
Yeah, that bothered me.
and you don't smoke in your uniform.
Right. You don't make it obvious that you're a fucking employee.
Go smoke a cigarette around the block.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a chef jacket. I don't want to see your apron. I don't want to see a black and white checkered pants.
Right.
I want you in normal clothing. Go smoke your cigarette in peace and come back in, wash your hands, changed, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Even though he's going to come back and wash his hands and do the right thing when he comes back,
It doesn't
you
look
don't
nice.
do that.
I don't care. It
Right.
doesn't look
Yeah.
nice.
You just don't fucking do that. You use your brain for 1 fucking second.
Yeah.
Because, like, I would tell people, like, think of it as if it was your shop, right? And you're in your cookware, and your employee's outside fucking smoking a cigarette.
No, it's horrible.
When we have a backyard, we have
Yeah.
an alley, there's a place you can fucking easily go.
Yeah, don't be lazy. Like, don't be a dickhead.
I should
And
just
Gordon
tell people,
walked up
oh, fuck.
and saw this guy.
That guy
sitting
evacuated
at
his
the
pants.
Front steps.
He shit himself.
Gordon walked.
I'm
he
shitting
first of all,
myself just hearing
He
this.
destroyed him.
Yeah.
And I saw it happening because I didn't see the guy. I told the guy, but I mean, he was like a 50-year-old man. I'm not going to sit here and hold his fucking hand.
Yeah.
And I could see him blasting him because Gordon's mad tall and like it was all glass walls. And I saw him and I was like, this fucking twat went outside and smoked a goddamn cigarette. Great. And Gordon just stormed in like Miss Trunchbull and Matilda, ready. And he came up and he just ripped me a new one. And I just stared at him and I was like, I know. And he goes, just get him the fuck out. Like, just get the fuck out. Like, I don't give a fuck. And this guy came up and he was crying, like legit crying. And he was like, I need this job, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, don't come crying to me, bro. Like, I have no.
Yeah, but it's not like you didn't.
You
say
literally
anything.
we have 2 rules. Like, you broke both of them. So pack your shit and get out. And they would call me and they would be like, you're so heartless. And I'm like, years of working for him, you just, when you say something, that's it.
Yeah, but heartless, I don't understand. Like, you gave ample warning. It's not like.
Yeah, you know what though? People like it's a name, right? So everybody wants that name on their resume. Everybody wants that opportunity to shine. Everybody wants that 30 seconds to show them.
Yeah,
that
well,
they're,
fucking
like,
shine
the
then.
next Gordon Ramsay, and you're like, spare me. Just peel the fucking potatoes. That's what I'm paying you for.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all right, yeah, you want the line on the resume, but like.
You got to start somewhere.
No, like even if you got the gig there, you should feel lucky that you got the gig there to start with, and secondly, just do your job.
Yeah.
And when someone's on the boss, the head chef tells you, don't smoke in front of the restaurant.
Oh, there were like stories for days like that, and people.
I used to tell people I'm like, just when you're here for 5 or 10 hours, act like you give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just act like it.
Yeah.
That's the job.
Yeah.
It's not serving, it's serving, but all of it encompasses you acting like you gave a fuck. Because if you give a fuck, you'll give good service. If you give a fuck, you'll do the right thing when you're cooking.
Agreed.
You'll deliver the food in the right way, not be a dick to the customer when you deliver the food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I do know what you're saying.
Oh, I'm getting getting
No,
PTSD right now.
No, and I'm super relaxed about it because I've been living this for so long that I'm just like.
You're just numb to it?
I'm just numb to it. Like, shit happens now, and you're like I had my cousin at my house this weekend with, like, her kids because they're, like, renovating their house, and my husband just came down the stairs at one point. It was like, what the fuck? Like, I can't fucking deal with this. I'm leaving. And I was just sitting on the couch.
Mayhem?
Mayhem. Chaos, right? Shit's everywhere, like crazy.
I respect that.
I'm just sitting on the couch drinking a Bloody Mary.
No, I respect his, because when there's a lot of kids going and it's just mayhem,
I just sat there and I was like, yeah, watching the whole world burn down around me in my house, in my living room. And I just sat there with my Bloody Mary, like, all right, like, what are we going to do?
But the good thing, like, there's something to that, like, where when shit's not hitting the fan, but it's
on
in
a
restaurant, right? It's at the edge of, like, you're throwing shit up and it's like an inch away from the fan. Mm-hmm. And it's something nice. It's like really nice to see when it's like mayhem like that and it's like working.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even though like one misstep and like everything's fucked.
No, but when the wheels are aligned and you're rocking and rolling and it's such a buzz to that and everything, you know what I mean? And you're pumping it out and you're crushing the
There's
day,
like a zen to it.
There's a zen to it, but there's an adrenaline to it. There's a happiness to it. There's like an appreciation to it, and there's just like that. I got this. Like, fuck yes.
Yeah, but that's like 1% of the time.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, listen, I hate restaurants.
Well, listen, when you told me that you were going to get that, I was like, you are.
It was a great opportunity, not for nothing.
It was a great opportunity, but you know what? Like, everybody wants a restaurant because they either grew up cooking or they love to cook.
I didn't cook. I don't love cooking.
And they love their grandmother's meatballs, so they want to have an Italian restaurant. And, you know, what's so hard about it? And it's got to be easy. Like, I can't tell you how many people have
I'll be honest with you.
said this to me.
Not that it's hard as a business, because it's if you have logic.
Yeah, but no,
I'm not saying cooking. Cooking itself is difficult. Way.
You have to be there all the time.
Right? Listen, I'm just saying, like, you know, the way you need to be there. You need to take care of it. You need to be there all the time for sure. It's a all-encompassing thing. But if you do give yourself over to it and do those things, which I'm not saying I did all the time. I'll be the first one to admit it.
Yeah.
You can make it work. It's not an impossible endeavor.
But if you don't have good staff.
Right. Also, that's an issue.
If you don't have people that you can trust.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be there from sun up till sun.
Right. It's impossible to be there all the time also, right? You need some kind of, I'm not saying work-life balance would be 50-50, but you need some kind of work-life balance where you're not going to totally fucking lose your shit. Well, I remember when I first got it, I was there like 100 days.
No, I remember.
I was there all day.
I remember. I came and visited you the first couple times. And you were like, I haven't left this place.
Yeah.
Months. And I'm like,
And like, it's, even if you are there, especially like a small independent shop, and you're grinding every day, and you have a solid staff, and, you know, a great customer, like a regular base that's awesome and stuff, you can still fail.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the chances are you will fail.
No, I was going to say, like, you're probably going to fail.
You know what I'm saying? And you can have, like, crazy equity in terms of, like, the name and stuff. You know, Bonnie specifically was there 20 years.
Yeah.
Going on 20 years. You know, it's still there, but, like, you know, it was a struggle. It wasn't easy. And, like, there's ever-changing stuff, like minimum wage going up, which I get it. People need to get paid a minimum.
That was hard.
But for a little restaurant, it's a fucking...
Yeah.
It's
I know.
True story. It's a body blow.
It's not even for little. It's for everything. But then you throw on the taxes and the unemployment.
Also, you're paying your dishwasher $15.
No, I know.
Your line cook, you got to pay him fucking $17, $18, $19 now.
And then your management's like, fuck you. I'm not making $17 an hour. I want $20.
So everything goes up.
Yeah, no, I know.
And for fuck's sake, all right, besides like the pandemic happening, your rent ain't going up, ain't going down.
No,
ever. Unless there's a fucking 1 in 100-year pandemic.
No.
Because if I had Bonnie's right now and the pandemic hit and we shut down, I would have called my landlord and be like, hey, bud, you're not getting rent. Yeah. Just straight up. I mean, there's an eviction moratorium. You want to play hardball?
No way, because then you would have done the PPP loans and you would have gotten your loans through because then you would have kept the business open.
Sure.
Listen,
I would have given something.
But you would have
But not the, $8,000 or whatever the number was, right? Like. And even when the 25% came back, I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, Bonnie says 34 seats. Let's say 32 because 11 of those seats are on the counter. So are those really seats? I don't know.
You can't have any counter seating anyway.
Okay, so there you go. So I had 24 seats in reality.
So you actually have 6 seats.
No, it was 34 seats. 11 were on the counter. So 11 minus 34 is 23. Call it 24. Make our lives easy.
Square footage of Bonnie's?
$750.
What's the?
I don't own Bonnie's anymore. It's a great place. Go check it out. It's in Park Slope. My buddy owns it.
Length, yeah, but if you think about the length, right? All the tables have to be 6 feet apart. You're not getting more than 3 tables.
No, so I was like, okay, say there's 24 seats. Let's say 8 people we can fit in Bonnie's.
That's what I mean.
I'm going to fucking open it up and start paying normal rent for 8 people inside? Are you fucking kidding me?
Nah.
Like,
Nope.
how does that even make sense? You know,
No.
I'm like, sure, yeah, you'll probably feel a spike in takeout and delivery. Totally, I get it, but it's gonna
You
even
gotta
out.
make a lot of money.
The volume's got to be
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
with
You gotta make a
seamless and
lot.
shit. The volume's got to be crazy because they take such a big bite, even though they lowered their fees.
Yeah, but still.
you
Still
need
the end
to-
of the year.
Yeah,
And
you
then what do you do
need to
January
make.
1?
You need to do so many deliveries that it's like, that's your whole business.
No, I know. No, it's I know all of it. It's just
It's a tough job. I mean,
it's a hard industry.
It doesn't make sense. It's a margin business. It's like, unless you know luxury, like it's a different
That's totally
animal.
different.
It's a totally different animal.
Totally different animal.
Like
Fast
if you
casual
have a
is one
small
thing.
shop,
Yeah.
you need to own 5 small shops, each of them making 5 to 7% profit if you're lucky.
But you also need to do it in a way where you need to, like, a buddy of mine owns Field Trip, right? Which is this kick-ass place. They opened it right when the pandemic hit, like right before, with this super famous chef together in Harlem.
Yeah.
They crushed the pandemic. Like
Yeah.
they fed everyone in Harlem, like
It's just a restaurant?
all the lower income, fast casual, like Chipotle style.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So counter service, there's no table service. You just have
Yeah.
a couple tables. Like
I love
that
that.
is the key.
Yeah.
This fast, quick service, easy. You kind of walk down the line. You get a scoop of this, a scoop of that, a couple of things, a little bit of that. He's opening up 3 more this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like he killed it during during everything. He was showing me like how much like they've.
He's
they've
like, this is
gone
our
up,
business
and this
regardless.
is-
You know what I mean?
And like we
Ingenious.
and we absolutely nailed it. Like we got grants because we were feeding so many people,
Yeah.
and like this actually was the best thing that could have happened to us
Wow.
because we took it on the chin and we went full steam ahead, and that's a concept that works.
And also, that's like an innovation, just a quick service, no sit down, quick takeout delivery. There's a spot, I don't want to name the name, but there's a spot in the Lower East Side. It's like a Mediterranean place. I'll tell you after. It's like a 350 square foot restaurant. They have like 4 seats. So they do mostly takeout and delivery. That little spot does $2 million a year in revenue. That little shit spot.
I believe it.
And like you have a place like that,
Yeah.
you're rich.
You just need consistent,
Like you're making great money.
good food, consistent, and more importantly, a good client base.
Yeah.
If you got a good client base, like you're in such a better position. Than you
Yeah,
were.
I agree completely. I mean, it's so tough. I mean, I tell my friends I would tell them, if somebody came to me and was like, "Hey, I have $250,000 or $300,000 to open up a restaurant," I'd be like, "Dude, just go to Vegas or literally throw it in a barrel, put lighter fluid, and burn it."
I would say take your $300,000 and invest in,
Something else.
even if it's a restaurant group, but it's got to be something that's up and coming that is going
Yeah.
to navigate these waters in a way
need
that
to-
you will see a return
Yeah.
on your investment in X number of
But you
years.
need to know somebody to do that, right? To
1,000%.
get in on that little.
1,000%. 1,000%. And
'Cause
that's what it's all about.
I understand the vanity exercise that owning a restaurant is about. I mean, dude.
Yeah, but get the fuck out of here because
Yeah.
vanity my ass.
It's
because
brutal,
everybody
man.
But the worst is then you get people that like expect because they know you to get something for free.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, I came last week. Like, oh, you couldn't even throw in like a wings for
Right.
me or like
Yeah.
something like that. And you're like, nah, bro.
It's
like,
tough,
come
man.
on,
Yeah, like,
every
it's
soda
not-
that you drink is $2 that's not in my
Right.
pocket.
And it's not the 80s.
No.
Where it's like, I'm literally making $5,000 cash a week
Yeah.
that
No,
I'm
I
not
know.
declaring.
No,
and
I
yeah,
know.
you want eggs? Yeah, you got fucking eggs. No worries. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, it's good. I'm going to make fucking $4,000 today.
No, I know. No, I know. No, we'll see. Let's see what happens in the coming years. It just breaks my heart that like the old school restaurants, the super fancy Garridon
Yeah.
service, like those long dining experiences are like out the window, and they're going to be
Yeah.
out the window for forever. And it's sad, but I'm looking forward to seeing sort of how this is all going to shape what the restaurant's going to be and what the business is going to be like in the future. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see what happens.
I mean, I don't want to do restaurants ever again.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just don't.
We'll
Because,
see.
like, I don't even see it, like, as, like, if there's different types of restaurants, right? Like, restaurant groups and stuff like that. And, like, the long kind of dining style, like, that is going to be just taken up by, like, I guess Milos, like, your
Milos
place
is
is like
long.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're there
And the
for a few
towels,
hours.
like, it's like the trendy kind of shit. But Milos really isn't. It's like an evergreen cuisine,
Milos
I
is
feel like.
listen, and Milos has been around for a long
That's
time.
what I'm
like
saying,
I said.
yeah.
They have a great client base. They have a wealthy client base.
It's expensive food. It's luxury.
expensive
Yeah.
food. It's luxury, right? So we are not. I'm sorry, but we're not catering to the everyday person.
Yeah.
You're coming to my restaurant. You're coming there because you've saved up your money.
Yeah, it's a special
and
occasion.
this is a special occasion for you. You know what I mean? And that is 10% of our business.
What's the rest?
People that live in Hudson Yards.
Oh, just rich as shit people. Yeah.
Like we have a guy that, I mean, we would come in and eat lunch and dinner probably 6 days a week.
Wow.
With every meal, he drank 3 shots of Grand Marnier. With every meal, like in a snifter. And I mean, he had 150, 250, 300.
And no worries, like,
lunch and dinner.
all good.
Every day for
Solo?
months. He had a girlfriend, so like
Yeah.
she came in a couple times, but then he'd come in with dates and chicks and girls and like all the time, every day. We always knew he was there.
That's fucking
hilarious. And you'd
hilarious.
see him there and they said, we went through like 6 bottles of Grand Marnier in a month, and this guy, but that's
from
the
him mostly.
Yeah, no, from him only.
Yeah, that's the people you need, just rich people.
Totally. That's it.
So you guys felt it, because I mean, like, the city emptied out.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. If Midtown wasn't dead, we'd be doing takeout in Midtown.
Right. Yeah,
There's
Midtown's fucked. Midtown's a dead. It's like there's fucking, what are those balls of fucking?
Yeah.
Hay?
Like that's like rolling down in the middle of I Am Legend.
And there's so many fucking homeless people.
I know. And now you had all the convicts too that like our fantastic mayor put up in all the hotels in the city. So like
he's a
across the
nightmare.
street from
De Blasio's a nightmare.
I don't even have time to like have this conversation.
Yeah, like I hate
have to go for a COVID test.
All right, go get out of here. So you gave me COVID. Thanks so much.
No, but no, not a chance.
Did I say every question? I didn't even ask you one question.
Ask me.
Do you ever feel pressure and anxiety?
All the time.
You do.
All the time.
See, you're outwardly very confident, and you don't seem like you would feel like that.
I get nervous about things all the time. I worry about things because at the end of the day, the profitability of the business rests on the decisions that I make.
No, I'm talking about life too.
Oh, yeah. I'm scared shitless right now. Like,
why?
I couldn't get my unemployment shit done today. I was on the website for like 2 hours.
So yeah, you feel that shit.
Like I don't have any money coming in now. I got zero revenue. Like I got a husband who's working, but he's not making in millions.
Yeah.
Do I worry about paying rent? Do I worry about this and that? But you want to know what? Like, we got one life.
Yeah, and you just keep going.
You just keep going.
That's the best way to do it.
That's the only way to do it.
See, what's interesting? Like, I don't stress that stuff, like the big picture stuff. I have anxiety that's just, there's no reason I have anxiety. I'm just having anxiety right now, and that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't focus. There's no inciting thing that, like, I'm really stressed about this specific thing that's happening in my life. It's just general. Like, things would be going good.
Yeah.
And I might feel anxiety. I mean, when things are going good, you tend not to feel it. I think when you're in your own head a little bit more, that's when you feel it a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, listen, now I'm super zen about everything because, like, I can't change the trajectory of my life right now. It is what it is. And so it's taken a long time for me to sort of get to where I am.
Right.
Like, 10 years ago, I was a completely different personality. So much more. I mean, I have an incredible amount of energy, but, like, a little crazier, a little bit shorter, like, way less patient.
Right.
Now, as I've gotten older and I've sort of been around and I've seen and I've, like, pressure and tested in so many different ways mentally and emotionally that you're kind of like.
Have you been to the point where, like, as you get older, how old are you? 34?
34.
Like, you get to the point where all the people that you knew who were older than you, like 15, 20 years old, your aunts, uncles, cousins, people who were older than you, you always thought they were grown up when you were, like, in your teens and stuff. When you get to that age, you always thought that they were smart and knew it all, and you figure out that
now you realize they don't know dick.
Shit.
They don't know dick.
We're fucked.
They're totally playing. They're playing you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
too.
even now,
all
like people ask me questions, and if I tell you the questions that I get asked sometimes, just in life about cooking, about things, 80% of it, if I don't know the answer, I'll talk right out of my ass.
That's my whole life.
And they're like, oh,
that's my whole life.
You know what I mean? Like. They're like, yeah, all right.
If you sound confident enough,
yeah, of course,
people will believe you.
Totally.
With anything.
Totally.
It's crazy, but, like, even the people who act confident, like, they're full of shit. Most, I feel like.
It's all about how you perceive yourself, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's crazy. I got that realization like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit! I used to think these people knew it all. They had it all figured out, and they didn't know shit. And they had nothing figured out. Because I don't know shit, and I don't have shit figured out.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. Me neither.
And I'm just trying not to fucking lose it day to day.
Yeah, I hear. Yo, try not to lose it and keep my kid like with two
you have a
legs
baby
and two
too.
arms,
Yeah.
and you know.
She's a little gangster though.
Yo, she's so funny.
When we were at church that day, and you gave her to me, I'm like, oh my god, there's a child now I have to take care of. She just stood there like a fucking soldier.
Yeah, she was just like, okay, mama.
For like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the fuck? I was freaking out more than she was. I'm like, where the fuck's Maria? When's she going to get back? Yeah.
Like, all right, what's up?
She's so good.
Yeah. No, she's chill, man. She's super chill. Like, you know what? I'm around. I take her everywhere with me.
Yeah.
We go everywhere together. I take her places with me. Like, she's around adults all the time. So she's just chilling. She told me yesterday that she was disappointed in me. And I said, why? And she said, because my nails, you didn't cut them straight. 2.5.
I mean, that's legit. I mean,
like,
that's a good reason.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you're right. You should be in. All right.
What else you got? That's it?
What else I got? That's it, man. I mean, you know, we're moving and shaking. I mean, I don't even know. Holy fuck. It's a tumultuous 2020, but I can't wait for 21 to just see what's in store for us.
Let me ask you this. How'd you manage? Well, I mean, this might be different in like a bigger restaurant style, but like a bigger back of the house. Back of the house is majority male,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's 100, 40 staff.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you go about it?
Confidence.
Right, that's it. Like,
That's
just
all
take
it
no
is.
shit.
Take no shit. And like, I was lucky because I lived in the United Kingdom, right? So I was always the odd one out because I was the American. I'm incredibly loud. Mm-hmm. And I have become more of no bullshit, like, go fuck yourself.
You were the stereotypical loud American.
1,000%.
Which is what you need to be in a back of a house
confident
restaurant. Yeah.
And like, not only am I going to do this, I'm going to do this better than you, faster than you, and then I'm going to teach you how to do it right.
Yeah. You ever heard of the Revolutionary War? You
My attitude about it, was from day one, and I knew that I only wanted to be in England for a certain amount of time,
Sure.
and I wanted to crush it, succeed, move up, and get the fuck out of there. And I did far more than I even wanted to do, and it was all because of that, and because I knew that guys are going to try to,
guys are going to be bros.
Guys are going to be bros, and they're going to be like, you don't know what you're, fuck off. Like, go to the side. Let me show you how it's done. Yeah. And then, I was like, okay.
Ton of sexual harassment?
Let me show you how it's done.
Not specifically London, but in general.
I would say
I feel like no one's taking shit from you.
15, 20 years ago,
no
yes.
one's giving you shit.
20 years ago, yes.
Yeah, but you were green.
Young, trying to impress, like eyes wide open, just whatever you
You're
want.
You're not cynical
chef.
yet. Yeah.
Now I'm like, suck my dick.
Yeah.
Get on your knees and go and clean the fucking freezer, and I'm gonna stand here and watch you while I'm drinking my gin.
Yeah.
Like, boss move.
No, yeah.
Like,
now it's like.
Now it's like, oh, you want.
Also, I feel like once you first started, like 15, 20 years ago, like you're 18, 19, whenever you started, like you were probably green for like 6 months.
Yeah, and then
like you callous over and you're like,
yeah, totally.
Dude,
and
you think you're fucking with like.
But you want to know what? It goes back to the fact that like I had a core group of strong girlfriends in high school who were all the exact same. No bullshit, loud, outgoing, like always stood up for each other.
Knuckles
cracked
before
the knuckles,
hand
like
job.
oh yeah, absolutely. The sleeves were rolled up before you could even say fuck. Like and that's it. And so. You just sort of learn, and it's so funny because like I have this husband who's 6'6". He's a big burly guy. He's an Eastern European. Like he doesn't take shit.
I want to climb him.
And then he just looks at me and he's just like, yo, just sometimes just shut the fuck up. Like
that's awesome.
Just sit down, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I'm not. Go. And I'm like, all right, you're right.
Yeah. I'm fucking wilding out. You're right. Okay.
I turn
every once in a while I need it.
He's got his earplugs in. He's like, I can't
That's
hear you. I'm not listening
mint.
to you. I'm like, cool. I've been talking for 2 hours. He's like, you're shit talking me. So I put my earplugs in.
Yeah, he's probably fucking
Xbox.
zen now, where he's just like, I don't even hear her.
Yeah, nah.
You saying something?
Yeah,
Sorry.
nah.
That's hilarious.
Totally.
That's awesome.
Totally. But
so you're gonna get Gordon on.
We're gonna get Gordon on. I'm gonna come back because I want to keep doing this.
This is fun, right?
Yeah, I want to come back.
Cathartic.
Seriously.
Like you'll feel better after this.
No, I want to come back because like I really got to go because like my parents
Right,
I want to go and get those COVID tests done. But I enjoyed this.
Do you want to plug anything? Is there things to plug? I guess Milos.
Yeah, I guess.
Check out Maria Tampakis.
No, I don't
She's
care.
the shit. I love you. Thank you for doing this.
Oh my God, I love it. Thanks. I
I'm
want to come back.
excited for Gordon to come.
Yeah, we'll figure it
We'll
out.
paint. I'll fucking clean this whole place up.
I mean, you need like a fucking team to come
No.
here. Like, let's be.
What I need is I just want to get minimalist. I want to get rid of everything, and I want it to be simple.
Okay, good. So
Essential shit.
Let's talk about this come the new year.
Yeah, all right.
And we'll
We'll circle
figure
back.
ahead.
Another corporate
Yeah.
phrase. We'll circle back.
We'll circle back.
Touch base in the new
touch
year.
base in the new year. I'll
Fucking-
come back and we'll do this again.
Ugh, I want to puke. I
And
hear
while
corporate
we'll do
words.
this again, I will give the world the update of where we're at with the cleaning and
Oh, I thought you
organization
meant
of
Gordon
this
Ramsey.
basement.
I was like, yeah, no, I would love an update of that. That'd be crazy. I love you.
I love you
That's
too.
it. Bye-bye. See, that was fun.
No, it's great. Seriously, I want to do